What's up, sports fans all around the world? Doodoo Browns, my BWBs, my bandwagon buffs, and my bandwagon Browns. What up? How you doing? I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a great show for you today, guys. I got a good one for you today. We have a vast conversation to have today. I'm very proud of what we're about to do. I've been promising several people that we're going to have some regular college football conversations, but it's been heavy Colorado and the Louis boys. I mean, that's where I get my money from. Speaking of money, I just got to let some of the haters know. I'm about to rub something in for the haters, okay? My YouTube check came in, and guess what I did? It was so big, I was able to get myself a breakfast from Burger King. My YouTube check was so large, man. Look, I got me a croissant, large coffee, all right? And guess what? It was sausage, egg. I don't do cheese in the morning because if you understand what Africans don't do cheese in the morning. But guess what? My check was so large, I added bacon. Bacon. You know how expensive bacon is? I added bacon to my sandwich. So for all you haters that say I don't get enough views and I probably ain't making no money, eat that, son. Yeah. Winning. Anyways, got a great show for you guys today. Guys, we got Porter information. I got information about an assault that happened in one of the Big 12 quarterbacks. We're going to talk about that. And guess what? The coaches' rankings is out. All right? The coaches' rankings is out. We got to talk about that. And who is the best commissioner in college football? Can y'all tell me that? Can anybody out there tell me who's the best commissioner in football? It's not who you think it is either. I'm going to talk about that. There's a lot on the plate today. We may not even get to a lot of it, but going to start the conversation where the conversation needs to start at. You feel me? And I'll make sure y'all be watching those videos that I put out. Okay? The video that I put out about the insider, go check that out. They're trying to start narratives and stuff, and I'm checking them out. So, like I said, I got a great show. Let's get started. All right? I didn't cue the intro today, so we're just going to forget about the intro because I forgot to cue up the intro. So, this will be the point where I say, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to share the video. Make sure to comment. If you are watching this in the post live, guys, you're not here right now interacting with me and you press the button. You're like, let me see what Harry B has to talk about. Make sure to scroll just a little bit because the introductory stuff, you may not be interested, but you scroll just a little bit, the conversation starts. Bada boom, bada bang. You get to enjoy the video. Trust me, you want to scroll just a little bit if you have to. But let's go ahead and get the show started. All right. On your screen, guys, you can join the conversation. You can come on this panel. All you have to do is email me, jointlive@gmail.com. So anytime you watch the show and you see panel members that are on here, sometimes they show their face, sometimes they don't, because, they're running around doing things, and sometimes it's just better to have audio. But as long as I have the audio, we can have a great conversation. So join TLPlive@gmail.com. I'm coming on here in the morning because I wanted to be a part of your morning drive. So here I am, guys. I wanted to be a part of your drive. And whether you're working out, you're on your way to work, or you're already at work and you just need somebody to give you a pick-me-upper, I am your pick-me-upper this morning. So I'm blessed to be able to do this. Anytime I can jump in my studio in New York. I'm in New York City. Get a rope. Anyways, I'm so blessed to be able to just jump in my studio, you know what I'm saying, and be able to come at you live. TLP Live. I'm your host, Harry B. And the B means billion. Let's get going. So let's start with the first thing. All right. The first thing I want to start with, and I'm not going to start with Colorado news. I'm going to start with something other than Colorado news. Eric Jackson, what up, man? Man, you have me on your lives in Dallas. I filed the filed the lawsuit. Man, you had me on yours live in Dallas. I filed the lawsuit. What does that mean? Tell me what you mean, Eric. what are we talking about? You got the wrong show, or what lawsuit? I'm sure I probably said something. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. Try. I don't know what that means. Okay. Clean that up, Eric, and let me know, man. Clean that up, let me know. Hold on, where's my information? Come on. All right, let's go ahead and start with this, guys. All the football fans, come into the door. Let's go. Let's get this show started. Let me go ahead and share my screen. That way we can go ahead and get this thing started right. But anyways, I'm going to take this screen thing off the lawsuits about Shedeur. Write a full sentence so I can know who. Oh, lawsuit about Shedeur. So you're the one that filed the lawsuit? Yo, you're the one that filed. Are you serious? Okay, Eric is driving. Eric said he's the one that filed the lawsuit about Shedeur. Yo, this is classic. We got Eric Jackson on the chat. He said he's the one that filed the lawsuit, the one that went viral, the one that everybody was talking about. He's the one that actually filed that lawsuit. Oh, yo, this is special. Oh, that's what's up. You driving? Oh, man. Yo, pull over and call into the show. Join tlplive@gmail.com. Yo, you got to pull over and call into the show. I don't know if you're going to work or wherever you're driving, bruh. Come on the show. Let's talk about that lawsuit. That thing went viral. If you're really the one that filed the $100 million lawsuit, yo, this would be classic. You got to come on the show today. Anyways, join tlplive@gmail.com. That is your email that you're going to email to call into the show, guys. If you're feeling generous and you want to bless a brother to keep this show free, my Cash App is right there. It's $ TLP Sports Club. Guys, that is my email. So, yeah. If you want to come onto the show, email me. Let's get going, guys. Let's get this thing rolling. The first thing we're going to talk about is problems. We got problems in college football, okay? Problems everywhere. We're going to talk about the Big 12. That's where Colorado lives. And so I'm going to give you, information about the Big 12 and other things that we're going to talk about in college football. So let's go. Let me get this off your screen. Let's get the conversation started. Make sure to call me if you want to go ahead and join the conversation. Let's talk about this thing here. Woman sues BYU QB Jack Reslov, alleging the R word, strangulation. Freaky people out here. Yeah. Somebody said those Mormons are freaky. I almost died. Someone said those Mormons are freaky. Yo, hey Jackson, make sure to email me, man. I want you on the show, man. We got to talk about that lawsuit. I will literally cancel everything else. All right, so you got to come on here. Let's talk about that lawsuit, man. All right, so a Utah woman has alleged that BYU quarterback Jake Reslov R-word her, strangled, and bit her, and that she was encouraged by Provo police not to do anything after reporting it, according to a lawsuit filed Wednesday in Utah State Court. The woman identified in the lawsuit as Jane Doe, obviously, right? AG alleges the assault took place at Reslov's home in November 2023. A year and a half after the R-word and strangulation, Jane Doe AG continues to experience extreme post-traumatic stress disorder and other traumatic symptoms as she works to process what happened and move on. The lawsuit states, Reslov's attorney, Mark B-A-U-T, all right, that's whatever that is, said in a statement that his client is factually incorrect. Reslov's attorney said in a statement that his client is factually innocent. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I thought that said factually incorrect. I'm like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be defending the guy. What are you doing here? Factually innocent. Factually innocent. That's interesting. Interesting that you're using factually innocent here. I ain't never seen that before. Like, factually innocent? Wait, let's put this thing to the side. Factually? What is that? Any lawyers out there? What the heck does factually innocent mean? What? Okay, maybe it's too early for me. Maybe I don't know what the heck factually innocent means. I know what it means, but I'm confused why you would use the term factually innocent. Anyways, we'll talk about it. We look forward to providing that innocence. But Bat said Baute. Anyways, Jake's focus this year will be on football. We don't try cases in the media. He's lying, obviously. We don't try cases in the media. Yes, we do. Oh, we got something to talk about. We will respect the process and establish Jake's innocence through the judicial system. Well, technically we don't, but he's right about that. But public opinions, hey, that thing is wicked. BYU said in a statement that it became aware of the lawsuit involving Wrestler on Wednesday. The university takes any allegations very seriously, following all processes and guidelines mandated by Title, is that 9 or 10 or whatever that title is, the school said, due to federal and university privacy laws and practices for students, the university would not be able to provide additional comments. The Provo Police Department released a statement Wednesday night saying it received a call from a woman on November 27, 2023, and she gave a similar account to what is alleged in the lawsuit. Because the civil suit does not identify the victim, we cannot be certain our police report is the same. It's the same incident referenced by the plaintiff. But it does seem likely, given the information we have, the statement says. All right, this is obviously a lot of stuff here. We're going to skip some of this stuff. At some point after speaking to the police, an officer reached out to her asking for the name because someone else filed a complaint against a football player and the police wanted to see if it was the same person. The lawsuit said at that point, Jane Doe AG shared Ratcliffe's name, and the Provo police then encouraged her not to do anything because, as they claim, sexual assault victims never get justice. That's a weird one. What in the world? Oh, Title IX. Phil said that was Title IX. Wrestler made 4 starts for BYU. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Well, why not? Well, let's put that in. Westliff made 4 starts for BYU in November 2023, and then he took over as the program's starting quarterback for the 2024 season, serving as a co-captain. He transferred to BYU from Riverside City College in Southern California. We got to talk about this. Let me make sure that nobody's calling in. I got to get my guy on the line. There's no way. We got to talk about that, okay? We got to get the guy that made the lawsuit on the line. Yo, that'll be gold. Oh, my goodness. All right, so BYU's quarterback is in a little bit of jeopardy. This is a while back. We obviously do handle situations like this very respectfully here. We don't blame or throw shots at anyone. We got to respect everyone's position, and this is a very serious situation. But let's talk about it. So this, it's a little freaky though. I mean, if you read the thing, it's a little freaky. All right. So the lawsuit. So strangulation and the R word. All right. So this is like, if you think about this situation, right? There's other situations at different colleges, and sometimes they will protect the football player if the person is a star and whatnot. I have no idea why in the world the police would say don't do anything. That's if either I'm missing something or it seems like a game. Like what are we talking about? Why would the police say, hey, don't do anything because these type of things nothing comes out of it? The police, that's an official police statement. Why the heck would the police say something like that? Sounds so weird, right? Because you're supposed to tell the person to go to the hospital, you're supposed to bring him in, get an official statement, do all the due diligence. But the police instead allegedly said, hey, don't do anything because these type of things, nothing happens. What does that say about BYU's program for the 2025 season? Is he going to play? Should he even play? You know what I'm saying? Because you got a situation at ESPN where there is some allegations against Shannon, and they was like, well, listen, man, we're going to go ahead and put you to the side so that we can, go ahead and deal with what you got to deal with, because our name is associated with this situation that you're going through, and we want to make sure that we are protecting the brand. So in the chat, what is BYU going to do? Do they sit them down to protect the brand? What exactly is going on? So Phil, what are you saying? Phil said this happening at BYU has layers to it. The school has a strict code of conduct, and when it comes to adult activities, you can't do anything unless you're married. That is an interesting point, right? If this is Mormon and they have some type of religious code, a Mormon code where, you can't have, there's no fornication. There's a strict code of, fornication. You cannot have, adult relations. I'm trying to be careful here. This is YouTube, right? You can't have adult activities prior to marriage, right? So if the girl, there's going to be layers, right? Like Phil said, there are obviously going to be layers. You got to deal with the law, and then you also have to deal with your community, right? Because now that this is out, right? They said what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So now you're going to have to deal with two different fronts. You got to deal with the law, possibly being suspended from school, not playing this year. And then you also got to deal with your religious community. Like, hey, man, how did you have a girl? What's done in the dark is going to come to the light. Why you had a girl in your room? All right. She said no, and you kept going. You feel me? Like, we're going to deal with that part, but we got to deal with the fact that, number one, bruh, you sneaking around with girls and you sleeping with them, that's a no-no to start with. Fornication is a no-no in that community. And, depending on if you're Christian, that law is also there. But I think Christians, let me tread very carefully here. I think Christians are the least, Christians will be the most laxed with the laws. All right. And just if I can interject this, because Muslim or Islam is one of the fastest growing religions in the world. And I think we are in a time where the world is just going crazy and people are choosing things that have strict rules. The more lax you are, people don't take you as serious. So I think this is something that I thought about a few days ago, and I was thinking to myself that I think Islam or the Muslim community, the Muslim religion is growing much faster because they have strict laws. Like I see in America, right? In Muslim countries, women have strict rules. They got to dress a certain way. In America, I just see girls just doing whatever they want to do. And I'll be looking at it, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Like, this is something I said not too long ago. One thing I want to do as a Christian man, I want to, okay, if I became a politician, I will ban yoga pants. Okay, I just want to put that on the record. I want to ban yoga pants because I think the devil made yoga pants. All right, and look, the ban may have layers to this ban. I'm being silly now, but give me a chance to get this out. I'm very serious about this because I'm a Christian man. My eyes are, I don't want to plug my eyes out because if your eyes offend you, plug them out. I'll be out of body parts if I start adhering to that law in the Christian. Please follow me. I'm trying to be serious here. Don't make me laugh. I want to ban yoga pants because, and the layers to this yoga pant ban will be, thick girls cannot wear yoga pants. That's just got to go. All right. If you're thick, you cannot wear yoga pants without some type of covering because it's yoga pants grab you too tight. Skinny girls, I'm like, all right, okay, you look like you're wearing regular pants, right? But anything beyond like a regular skinny girl is like, no, you can't have this on. This is a sin. I'm walking and I'm having if I have my morning prayer, right? I can kind of like, I can fight some of that stuff. But if I've like the further, how like the further your day goes, like my morning prayers are like maybe 4 and 5 in the morning, right? But the further your day goes, this is the reason why you want to meet God early, because you meet him early in the morning. Y'all got to follow me here. I know this is a sports show, but we're talking about this situation. But so just follow me, okay? I didn't just bring this up, okay? It was a circumstantial. So anyway, yoga pants ban. Thick girls got to go. I pray in the morning, and then, so you meet God and your spirit is good, so you can fight all certain things. But the longer the day goes, as your day progresses, spirits, because we live in a spirit world, most people don't understand or don't know that stuff starts hitting you in the spirit. So as you're going, somebody may cut you off while you're driving, cut you off at the light, or cut you off while they're driving. The emotion and those things that you get, that's how the spirit works. All right, you start going, and then you start spiraling. You look on the right hand side, you just minding your business. Here comes a thick girl walking with her yoga pants, and you're like, you look over there, you do like a double take. You're like, good Lord, like she thick, right? I'm like, I'm a married man. I'm trying my best here. Society is supposed to try to help us to live a life where we're not enticed on purpose. So we got to ban yoga pants. I don't know. The devil came up with yoga pants, and y'all are wearing underwear, right? And then, okay, so then there's levels to the yoga pants. There's the thick yoga pants that looks like real pants. And then there's the cheap ones that you can't afford, the thick ones that shows your underwear. And some of the girls that are broke, they wear the thin ones. Especially those thick girls. Come on now. What are we doing? I can't. We got to ban yoga pants. I'm telling you. And if you cannot afford the good yoga pants, the real ones, the ones that sometimes they have pockets in them, and you're going to wear those thin ones that looks like underwear and everything is showing, you would be put in jail. All right. I would write, the law would be you have to go to jail if you're wearing those thin yoga pants because you cannot afford the other ones. So you go to the dollar store and pick up your favorite yoga pants, and then you put them on, and you're one of the thick the girls out there. That's a no-no. I know we're talking about Jake Resleff and his, R-word situation. I'm just saying society has to help us out here. We're trying out here, okay? Because in Christendom or any Muslim, I think you're supposed to cut your eyes out. If your eyes see something that offends you, it's better for you to have no eyes to go to heaven than for you to have your eyes and then go to hell. And you know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to start cutting stuff off of you. I ain't cutting nothing. I'm saying I need my eyes. I can't even see you. Can see me? I can't see you. I know, but at least I'm looking at the camera. So if I have no eyes and I'm walking around here like this, because, hey, yo, Harry, why you ain't got no eyes? Your face is bleeding. Yeah, man, I just saw a girl with some yoga pants, man. Dang, I had to cut one eye out. Like, come on. KMS said, is this live? This is live, bro. We live. Yo, we got to, look, man, I'm telling you, if you start cutting body parts out that just don't, that sin against God, you would be walking out here with like a stomach. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be a stomach just walking around because you just be like, dang. And if everybody knows that you start cutting body parts because of sin, then they'll be like, dang, that dude, he lost his arm. I wonder what he did. What kind of sin did he do with his hands? Was he beaten? Oh, Lord. Oh man. Yo. Anyways, I'm trying to be part of your morning drive, your morning workout, your morning, whatever you have it in your morning. That's why I came in live, guys. So we had some situation. I hope y'all are doing well. Guys that call into the show, please email me, jointlplive@gmail.com. Join me live, join TLP live at gmail.com. That is the email for you to call into the show. Do you support my banning yoga pants rules? Like, we got to ban yoga pants. We got to. This society is too loose. America is way too loose. You cannot allow girls to wear yoga pants and just be walking around here. All right. My wife would not wear that. I mean, I'm just saying. All right. We're not going to be enticing men out there because you're on the thick side. You're wearing yoga pants. They can see your curvature, and that's for me. All right. But y'all got your women out here wearing these yoga pants, and they're on the thick side. You got pastors, all right? You got kids that just came to Christ. They're walking around, and they're like, dang, how am I going to be a Christian? And I see all these girls wearing yoga pants. And then they're not just the real one, too. Some of them wearing the cheap ones from the dollar store. That's not right. That's not right. The one that shows your underwear, come on. Like, those have to be outlawed. There's no way you can have girls out here wearing yoga pants and I can see what color underwear you're wearing and you can wear that out there. Nah, man, that's got to go. But anyways, we were just talking about Jake and his situation. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that we're not, there's no way we're, anyways, I hope y'all take heed to what I just said. Who's with me? Who's banning? Let me see in the chat. Who's banning yoga pants? DC said we all gonna look like worms because everything got cut off. That's a fact. Oh my God. What are you talking about? Just forget about all about self-control. Self-control? All right, y'all want to prolong this conversation. I want to move off and talk about the other things. But oh, Panda, I'm on my own. Evelyn Underwood. Evelyn, tell me, Evelyn Underwood. We're talking about underwear. Your name is Underwood. Are you with banning yoga pants? I got off a topic a little bit, but I just want to say, who's with me on banning yoga pants? I don't know what year this started, but I saw them coming. And I said, when I first saw it, I said, that lady's wearing her underwear. Because I'm not from America. I'm from Liberia, Africa, right? So, you know, my morals are a little wired a little differently. But when I saw the lady with the thin pants on, I said, well, you're supposed to wear those and wear like a blouse, or you're supposed to wear like something around it to, you know, especially when you go to church. And girls are wearing yoga pants in church now. I said, God forbid. Let me say my Nigerian accent. God forbid. Hey, the guy's wearing yoga pants that's not Nigerian. It sounds more like South African now. Speaking of South African, did you know that the South African president met with Trump? Why do these people keep going in front of the cameras on this reality show? Why do they keep doing that? If I was the president, I'd be like, nah, I'm not going in for your reality show so you can set me up. Anyways, this ain't about politics. Let's stay on this yoga pant ban, okay? Who's with me? Is anybody with me? What Panda said to send him the link. Let me send Panda the link. Panda, give me a second. I can't be the only one out here talking. All right, here we go. Hey, I'm about to get Eric on here. The guy that filed that lawsuit that went viral. Hit the like button. Let's get this conversation started. All right. We're gonna have to put the yoga pants ban on hold, and we're gonna talk to the guy that filed the lawsuit for the drive slide dance. The guy that filed the $100 million lawsuit, he's about to come on the line so we can have a talk with him. All right. But if you are with me, let me get a thumbs up. Maybe not a thumbs. Put something in the comments. Let me know you're with me on banning of yoga pants. Because this country is way too loose. In God we trust. We have to identify which God we trust. Okay? Because you can't trust every God. It's supposed to be a Christian nation. If you're running for president, you're supposed to be a Christian. So I don't understand. Let me bring Panda on here. Let me see. Hey, Panda, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's up, man? How you doing today?
What's up, man?
Are you banning yoga pants or not?
Absolutely not.
You a sinner. You're going to hell.
Absolutely not.
Why are you not banning yoga pants?
I think we have to re-examine our theology and to the dimension of understanding the finished work of Christ and grace. I think a lot of times we want to go back into lording. The Bible says we shouldn't lord over people. Faith is activated. It's the Holy Spirit responsibility to develop the inborn concept for you to change. What happens a lot of times is because we receive the word of God with a perspective of ignorance, we think that's what the word of God says. And what happened is when it comes to the law, what Paul started explaining, if you broke one, you broke all. It wasn't about the actual law, it was about the heart and the people's understanding of it. And a lot of times, if you are struggling in that way, you will struggle regardless. So it's not
Hey,
about
Panda, hold the line. I got Eric Jackson in the green room. And I believe Eric Jackson said he's the one that filed the lawsuit. We're going to have to revisit this yoga pants thing and talk it more in detail. If we got time in the show, I promise we would do. So K dash Dishara says Black women don't wear yoga pants. I don't know if she's saying Black women should not wear yoga pants, but I was gonna say if I'm making a law, I would say it's going to be racial on racial lines because Black women are naturally thick, and the law is going to say Black women is going to focus on Black women because you're too thick to be wearing yoga pants. And especially I'll put language in that law that says if you're going to wear it because we can't do X, Y, and Z to you, you are not allowed to wear the dollar store brand, the thin cheap one. You can't wear that. So all right, Kay.
But Harry, if we use Nigeria and Ghana, they are fully dressed, and when they worship and praise worship, their whole body moves.
Oh, here you go. You're digging a little too deep into this. Listen. But imagine if they were wearing yoga pants and worshiping in church wearing that yoga pants. Nobody will leave that church saved. The bathroom will be packed, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyways, let's leave this alone for a second and let's get to my guy, Eric Jackson. All right? Eric Jackson, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing today? Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how you doing, boss?
I'm good. So you put in the comments that you are the one that filed the lawsuit. Is that true?
Yes.
Say word. Tell me about it. Let me get out the way. You tell us about why did you file this lawsuit?
Well, I mean, I think our journey started all the way back in Dallas, back in September last year. You had me on your live, leaving the game, and we was all excited of what we just witnessed. Shedeur putting up that 500 on them. So
Wait,
I've
you were
been
on the
down there
show?
ever since. Huh?
You were on the show
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, you was outside the stadium live, and I walked up to you, and I had on. Remember, I had on the white polo with the sun visor, and I cursed. You said you can't be cursing over live, but yeah, we did like a
Oh, I
little
think I
interview
remember.
right after the
It was
game.
on the street. It was on the street, right?
Right,
Right in front of the burger joint.
right in front of the campus where the restaurants were.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
I don't
came.
remember. I'm so sorry. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was like
yo.
I had on like a white polo and had on my little sun visor because I had just left the game.
Uh-huh.
So anyway,
Okay. So
so I've been
tell me
down
about this
there.
lawsuit. Why did you decide to file this law? First of all, let me just premise this. Was this like were you trying to were you joking? Did you know it was gonna go viral? Were you joking? What was this about?
No, it wasn't a joke. I was severely upset about what they did to that boy. You know, to rob that man of 50 million like that, man, I was severely upset about that. And I knew he couldn't fight back because he's trying to play, what I'm saying, in the NFL. So there was no way that he was gonna be able to file a lawsuit against them for what they did to him. So, I had the knowledge, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm going there and foul it." And
There you go, cussing again. There you go,
right,
cussing again, man.
So after I found it, I didn't think much of it. So I'm like, we gotta go through this process, and then next thing you know, all the media started calling, and then after the
They'll start
media
calling
started
you.
calling, yeah, man. I mean, I think I did like.
Oh man, his line cut. Panda, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
Are you
Oh, there you
back?
go. He's back. He's back. Hold on,
I'm
hold on.
sorry about that. I had a
You
call
back?
coming in. But
Okay.
anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Do I still got you?
Yeah, you still got me. You still here?
I can't hear you.
So Hank,
Okay.
can you hear me now?
I mean, we can hear him, but he can't hear us.
Yeah.
All right, I think I got you again.
Are you here? Testing.
Yeah, I'm still here. He listening to playback. He's like about a minute behind.
If you can hear me, hang up and dial back in.
All right, so I don't think I'm live. Can you hear me? All right,
We
so
can hear you.
I mean, it
Go
was
ahead.
just like I had to go ahead and do what I had to do, man. I found it, and the next thing you know, the media started calling, and it's just been up ever since. Let me leave, and I'll
Can you
come
hear?
back in.
Yes. Leave and come back in. There we go. Well, this is unreal. I actually spoke with him when I was at the TCU game. So he came on live. I was live and he came on and we had a conversation. I did not know that he was the guy that filed the lawsuit that just went bonkers and everybody started talking about it. The TLP got one over there. You feel me? So
Yeah, you go ahead and add your name, man. See, you go ahead and add your name in the craziness. You go ahead.
add my name to the lawsuit, right?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Eric got to come back on here and explain to us, like, where is the actual, like, what is he going to do with that lawsuit? Like, what is he planning to get out of the lawsuit? So he's coming back on. So give me a second. Let me get the ticker right. Give me 1 second. Make sure. Let's copy this. All right, Eric, welcome back to the show, man. Everybody started talking about it. The TLP got one over. Okay, he's listening back, so that's like he's behind.
You go ahead and add your name in the craziness. You go ahead.
Have my name for the lawsuit, right? Hey, we live, Eric.
All right, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so just lower your volume so we can hear you.
All right, you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right.
Oh man, this is breaking up.
Eric got Metro PCS, man. Come on now.
Oh man. All right, so he's gonna come back on. But yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, so Eric he's the one that's on the line right now. He called him he met me over there in Texas when I was in Texas, and I was live, and he's gonna come back on here. But he filed a lawsuit that kind of went viral, and the whole Shedeur drive slide situation happened, and I guess like he said, he felt some kind of way that they colluded or whatever happened. People don't believe that it was a collusion, and I can tell you why. I feel like collusion has different ways for you to look at collusion. Collusion is I'll let him talk about it, but collusion is something where, like, if for whatever reason, right, somebody's in a meeting, and let's say the Browns or somewhere in New York, where I'm at, they have a meeting, and then Shedeur does something, or he has an attitude, or whatever transpires in that meeting. and that guy leaves that meeting, makes a phone call to several other team and the people that he knows on the team and those whatever in the draft, if they make that phone call and they're like, oh, for real? He's like that? At that point, once they start sharing information and then they take that information and internalize it, they didn't get that information directly from Shedeur. Shedeur never had a bad interaction with them. If they're making decisions based on that information that they received, that's what I say is collusion. So let's bring back Eric, and he'll be able to tell us his lawsuit. Welcome back to the show, Eric. How you doing?
I'm doing great, boss. I'm sorry about that. I keep getting calls coming in when you're trying to do something. But you're absolutely correct with your analysis of what we were dealing with. The only aspect that a lot of people's not really understanding is the consumer part of it. And that's where the antitrust kick in. Whenever you're doing that and you're affecting people who consume your product, that's when you're protected by the law.
So tell me, what do you want to get out of this lawsuit? What exactly do you expect to come out of this lawsuit?
I want them to realize that they are not allowed to do or carry themselves in that manner. Um, they have been running roughshod over players for years, and like I say, they just recently had a arbitration against them that found them guilty of collusion. Back in December of 2024, just like this past December. That's with Kyle Murray, um, Lamar Jackson, and three other black quarterbacks. So the arbitrator found them guilty of collusion, but that he did not punish them. So, as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to the courthouse now to file a motion to serve the subpoena to get that arbitration report and to get all of that
You can't
investigative
be serious.
material.
This is a TLP exclusive. You can't be serious right now.
I am. I'm in front of the
Y'all tell
courthouse
me,
right
am I missing a zero? Am I missing some zeros on that million?
now. Look,
Am I missing zeros on there?
look, there's the courthouse right here. That's the U.S. courthouse right here in Atlanta.
Stop
I'm
playing.
pulling up right now to go file a motion.
So Eric, this lawsuit is real.
It's real.
You plan on carrying this thing out all the way?
Man, I'm trying to put together now something. I'm looking at a company now to be able to manage and to manage the data. As far as discovery goes, I need somebody to treat the data as if it's you know what I'm saying, where we're going to be able to manage it, be able to access it, be able to control it.
All right, so he dropped out. His signal went again.
We keep
Hey,
losing him at the good parts.
I know. Hey, Panda, am I missing some zeros on that million, or is that how you write a million?
Now I was just looking at your name, Harry Billion. Like he probably asking for too little.
No, look on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. Am I missing some zeros?
Well,
Is
the
that
way how you put it, that's 100,000.
that's 100,000, right? Okay, hold
Yeah.
up. I gotta update that because I'm like, wait, I feel like I'm missing some zeros. That's not
Yeah,
that's not 100 million. Yeah, I gotta put some zeros on there. Yo, this is a TLP exclusive. This is crazy. We got the guy that filed the lawsuit on the show, and he been on the show before. Yo, this is epic. I did not expect this to happen today. Come on, Eric, get back on the show, please. Yo, I went from banning. There we go. Come on, Eric, come back on here.
I'm sorry about that, man.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. How have you gone on any other shows and talked about this?
No, I mean I haven't talked to nobody, but I'm at the process now to where I got to figure out um, how to monetize it because of the resources that we're going to need to. Like I say, I need to set up like a data management system to be able to manage the amount of data that we're going to be able to access. Because what the main things I'm going to target, like right now, I'm finna go drop off the subpoena to the actual arbitrator that was the judge during that process. So I got his information. So I drafted up all the motion and the paperwork and the subpoena last night. I'm finna go file that now, and then my next move is going to be against Boomer Esiason, because I need to get his all the source and information that he put out there, and then I'm going after the Giants because they fired their star what do you call the guy, the people that oversee their draft process, the number one guy, they let him go. So they let him go. I think it was on the 2nd of May. I filed my lawsuit on the 1st of May, and they fired him on the 2nd of May. Well, they let him retire. Let me put it like that. They let him leave. But anyway, uh, I'm definitely going after the Giants, and I'm glad that they put the video of Jackson Dart out, because if they got Jackson's Dart interview video, I'm pretty sure they got Shedeur's video, and we're gonna dispel all the rumors and lies that they did on that man.
So, all right. So we got some questions in the chat. I'm just waiting to see the questions. Phil said, Phil, I appreciate the $5 super chat. But so yeah, okay. So any questions you guys have? We have Mr. Eric Jackson. He's actually been on the show before when I was in Dallas. So so he's familiar with the show. So Eric, let me just ask you, just for Vanity's sake, just for Flex sake, are we the first show that you've come on to reveal this information since you filed the lawsuit, since it went viral?
This is the first time I've spoken to anybody other than the video interviews, the on-camera interviews with major media. This is the first podcast or YouTube channel that I've been on.
So this is a TLP Flex. I really appreciate you coming on here, man. Thank you so much. Like, this might go viral on its own. So,
Right.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming on. I really do appreciate it. But my panel member, he has a question too. So Panda Bear, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. When it comes to filing and stuff like that, do you think it's wiser to have some type of attorney involved, or do you have a background in paralegal or any aspect like that? Because you seem to be.
Do you have an attorney?
No, I don't have one. But I'm trying to find a firm that would be willing to accept it. Because you got to remember, like this, when you're going against big money, they got the attorneys in their pocket. And then there's laws out here that prevent attorneys, or they punish attorneys if they file a frivolous lawsuit. So anything that they want to pretty much deny you access to the courts, they'll just term it as frivolous. So that's how they keep us down, because we don't know the act or how to access the court. So when you figure out how to access the court, it begins a process to where they can't hold you down anymore, because now they're liable for their actions.
Because the reason why I asked that was, if the NFL, where is the NFL headquarters?
It's in New York.
So wouldn't this have to be filed in New York?
No, it doesn't, because there's a thing called diversity jurisdiction, and the feds have that because they understand that when you have large corporations like that, they may be headquarters in New York, but they do business in all 50 states. So if I have a claim and I'm injured in Georgia, even though your headquarters is in New York, my jurisdiction is here in Georgia, because of the fact I'm a resident of Georgia and my injury occurred in Georgia, even though your headquarters is in New York, but you do business in all 50 states. That's called diversity jurisdiction. But I didn't file the complaint under diversity jurisdiction. I filed it as a federal question, meaning that you violated federal law, meaning that you violated the Sherman Antitrust Act, you violated consumer protection laws, and you violated the U.S. Civil Rights Act of 1981.
The reason why I think you have a good shot it was the same thing used against Instagram and Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
they settle. Or
Yeah.
anybody who used that in the title, they tend to settle because it goes against the federal thing. So I know somebody who got a payout where they were blocking his post,
Uh-huh.
and he put that in the wording, and they settled with him behind the scenes. So it's basically how they be shadow banning people is
Right.
actually illegal, because the systems of the social media is designed that your engagement of your followings and stuff like that. In the NFL, we as consumers are thinking that the teams are doing what's the best interest of us who participate in. So I really think he has a good shot. I just don't know the legality of it.
Well, I mean,
And what
and
would
that's
be a
another thing.
successful outcome for you?
And that's another thing. When you see how the media sensationalized it by making me to seem like I'm just a fan, and they trying to poison the
Right.
people's mind
Exactly.
by saying that he's just a fan. He's crazy. How can a fan sue the NFL? It's not that I'm suing the NFL as a fan. I'm suing the NFL as a consumer of their product.
So
Right,
okay, so
right.
hold it right there. So Phil Surreal had a question. He said, "Who are you suing? Are you suing the NFL directly, and you're
I'm
suing them?
suing the
And let us know what
NFL.
state you're suing in."
I sued the NFL directly right now, but I reserved in my complaint to be able to amend that complaint to include others once we get through discovery. Like, say for instance, if I get through discovery and I find out that the Giants organization lied on Shedeur and said that he tanked interviews and his interview was terrible, and we get the video and it wasn't, guess what? The Giants organization become a party to the lawsuit. If I get
So
to Boomer
okay,
Esiason, if I get to Boomer Esiason and he put out there that Shedeur did this and they said to take him off the board and did this, guess what? Those executives that informed Boomer Esiason will now become parties to this lawsuit.
what state are you suing in?
In Georgia.
You're suing in Georgia,
Yes.
and you've already told us that you're representing yourself. So that what that's telling me is that you either have the knowledge or you've done this before. Have you done this before?
I have. I have. I have. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the process. I've been through the federal process. So I know exactly what I need to do when I need to do it, you know what I'm saying, to keep the case alive.
And you
Okay,
know,
so
there's
you
some
have
states you don't have to have a
hold
law
on,
like.
one second, Panda. So you, like you said, you have experience with this, but it sounds like you're very knowledgeable. The first time, are you getting your knowledge from the first time you did it, or you've always had this knowledge, or you had to learn it? And where does this knowledge come from?
I had to learn it, and it came through the process
When
of
did you
a,
decide to learn this, or when did you start learning this?
well, I had to go through a litigation process with another major corporate, McDonald's, and actually I had
Wow.
filed suit against them in state court, and they removed my case to federal court, which forced me to learn the federal system.
Mm.
Wow. How did that turn out? If you don't mind sharing,
Settlement,
how did the McDonald's thing turn out?
a settlement.
He end up in,
Oh, it was
so
a settlement.
my boy have a win.
It was a settlement in your favor.
Yes.
My boy have a W under his belt.
So hold up. Okay. So right now you're blowing my mind. Again, I want to thank you for coming on here. You're blessing my show. If this goes viral, I will appreciate you. I'm just saying. I'm just being, I'm saying, just being straight up. But this is a real thing that's happening. The reason why I'm asking the way I'm asking these questions is because, like you said, people are going to take you like a caricature. They're not going to take you serious. The media is already probably going to characterize you, you know what I'm saying, as a joke, right? People are laughing. But you're not laughing, Eric, are
I'm
you?
not. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at all. I'm not laughing.
You're not.
I'm not laughing.
I mean, he have a solid shot, like a solid shot.
So you're taking this very seriously. What, like, okay, I know Panda is saying you have a serious shot, but what, knowing you, the top, because you've done this before, what shot do you think you have against the NFL? And are they aware and are they engaging you?
They haven't engaged yet because they haven't been served with the paperwork yet. Um, they money is involved, and the judge did something that I've never seen before. Um, I filed my complaint, and I filed a informal potpourri, which would preclude me from having to pay any fees as far as the filing fees. The most important thing, service fees, because once you granted that status, um, all of your service and everything is conducted by the U.S. Marshals. So it's
Wow.
kind of hard to hide from them. You
So that
understand what
was
I'm
the
saying?
question that
So
that's
whenever
the
I need
question that one of our,
subpoenas,
go ahead.
so whenever I need subpoenas, or like no matter in all 50 states, uh, now I have another arm, the U.S. Marshals, to assist me with getting them the paperwork, which is the most important thing in a lawsuit, is being able to find people and to be able to get people served. Now, like I said, with the filing that I'm getting ready to do right now, as soon as we get off this live, um, I'm motioning for the judge to issue me a non-party subpoena to the arbitrator that decided the arbitration claim, the NFL, against the 5 black quarterbacks. And in that report, he concluded that the NFL colluded against these 5 quarterbacks.
Wait, you
And
saying the judge, could you repeat that part again? Because I think I missed
okay,
that
here we
part.
go. I'm finna go file a motion for the judge to issue a subpoena to a non-party member, a non-party individual, meaning he's not party to this lawsuit. And that individual is the arbitrator that concluded in the NFL versus the 5 black quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, um, um, Lamar Jackson, uh, the kid that's in Cleveland, what's his name, Watson.
Oh yeah, well,
Who?
yeah,
Yeah.
Deshaun, yes,
I think it was
the one that got hurt,
Stroud.
right?
I think it was
Yeah.
Stroud, and it was another one. Well, anyway, he concluded that the NFL colluded against them, but he did not award them any damages. Now, with that investigation, there's depositions, there's discovery, there's a report, his final report on his conclusions, and I'm trying to get access to all of that. Now,
Maybe
the
you should
Okay,
NFL,
add
with that,
freedom of
with that
information.
being said, hold on, Panda. With that being said, is the main goal the money or the data? And
the data,
which one
the
is it?
data is
The
more
data is,
important than the money.
and
The
what
data
do
is
you
more
plan on
important than
doing
the
with the
money.
data once you get it?
The data is more important than the money. The data will bring you
$1 million is
more
a lot
money.
of money. I mean,
The data,
$100 million
hold
is
on,
a lot of money.
but the data will bring you more than that. You know how
Ooh,
long the major media has been trying to get a hold of this report?
wow,
See, I'm playing chess, they playing checkers.
wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
So,
I'm not
so the
worried.
goal. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question because I don't want to do anything to impede your lawsuit. Don't say anything on here that can be used to that they can fight
Right,
against you. Anything that you know what I'm saying, because it's a court system. Let's just make sure that we're not stepping on whatever you're doing, because they can take this stuff and say, you see, this is, he's planning on doing X, Y, and Z. He just wants to get
right.
the information, right? So you're smart enough to know what to share here and not what to
Right.
not share.
You know, it's
Okay.
all leverage. It's all leverage. You know what I'm saying? They play a leverage game. It's like they're leveraging their resources against me right now by trying to have the judge throw my case out without it even being heard. That's why I said they did a crazy move that I've never seen before, because once they granted me that informal pauperity status, I've never heard a judge send it up to another judge to make a determination on whether or not the case is frivolous. He's supposed to make that determination when he received my complaint and before he make a decision on whether or not to grant me the formal pauperity status. That determination is supposed to be made at that moment. So if this judge does uh, dismiss my case saying that it's frivolous, then that's a grounds for automatic appeal, because now they done already violated the law.
So, okay. Are you you are aware of the fees because you spoke on that, right?
Yeah,
And one of our
yeah.
members, TH, wanted to know you're aware of the legal cost. Now,
There
even
is
though
no
they're
legal
granting
cost.
you,
There is no legal cost once they grant you that formal pauperity status.
but you
It's
got to
not
still.
saying It's not saying that, okay, I may not be able to, I don't know what the fees are going to be, and I may not be able to afford all of the fees associated with me pursuing justice. So
Mm.
I'm asking the court to waive those fees so that we can pursue justice. So so now, any filing fee that I need, any service fees that I need, or any appellate fees that I need, I don't have to pay for them. So it's it's like they shut you out of the courts if you can't afford to pay these fees. So since I don't have to pay those fees, I can pursue it all the way to the Supreme Court.
Are there any other fees outside of those fees that you just listed that you'll have to incur? Like you obviously
Yes,
have to pay for gas and stuff, different things. But are there
depositions,
any other fees?
depositions, depositions, depositions,
Okay,
and that's where I feel I did go start me a give and go, but I haven't, what I'm saying, figured out how to market it yet, because
okay.
I found a firm that does like a la carte depositions, where you pay them and they conduct the depositions for you at a law firm. So um, I know that that's going to be cost a pretty penny, and I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way to monetize so that I can be able to move forward once we get to that stage. But that's going to come much later in the litigation process once we get through the discovery phase. Um, so I'm already thinking, what I'm saying, 7, 8, 9, 10 months down the road.
Are you going to depose them yourself, or you're hoping that at that point you already have legal assistance?
Either I would have counsel in place, or I would have resources in place to do the third party depositions, where I'm just paying a law firm to conduct the depositions.
This is heavy. This is heavy. Have you considered legal aid? Because legal aid helps people that need legal services that may not know the
Not for
process.
that, Harry. Not for that.
Well, I put in a motion last week, um, arguing against the frivolous review. I put in a motion last week, so in that motion, I requested the court, due to the nature of this case and how large it is, and it's a big antitrust case, that I requested a court-appointed attorney.
Okay. So how does that work? And when you request a court-appointed attorney for such a large case, what are the chances of you getting one for that?
Some say that it's never been done, um, but I think the last time it was done is in a civil case, is when they had that large oil spill off the coast of California. I think the court appointed a firm to conduct that investigation and that litigation in that civil case for the plaintiffs.
Wow.
So I don't know. I don't think it's ever been done. I just said, let me try it, see what happens.
Something's going on with the audio. Can you adjust? Because I don't know what happened. It was clean, and then all of a sudden it starts cracking.
That's weird. Can you hear me? Can you leave out, come back in?
Yeah, click off and click back on because I want to make sure that this audio comes out clean. Yeah, so yeah, okay. So Panda, you got a few questions. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask those questions, and you guys that are in the chat, put your questions in there. I am seeing your questions, but again, I'm not trying to step on. When he has something to share, I'm seeing your questions here. Vino said the judge is going to throw out the case. I'll ask him that. I'll ask him, like, what are the probability when he comes back on? What are the probabilities that this case goes all the way, or that they're taking this case seriously? I'm going to ask that. Any other questions? Let's see. I think he's back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Audio is still messed up.
Yeah, audio still messed up.
Hold on,
Yeah,
try
click
my
off.
other device.
Yeah, click off and come back in. Okay. So
I
Panda,
do think there are several firms that will do pro bono work, especially in a case like this. A lot of firms want to get their name into the system. That's definitely an option for him to go. I took business law, but I never really pursued it deep. The reason why I'm saying that there's something there, what might trip him up is the filings and how we go about the filings, because what he's attacking is the business practice. I don't think people understanding that part. He's not attacking the draft. If he was attacking the draft,
well, he'll come back to explain. He'll come back to give us a more. We can ask that. So make sure that you bring that up. We'll bring that up so that to see, what exactly is, like, what aspect of their business practice or whatever the lawsuit is.
yeah, there is a law that talks about how you conduct business. So that's what I was saying. When social media shadow ban people like yourself, you have legal standing. Like, you literally can use that. He mentioned the exact.
Okay, he's back. Let's get him back. Let's get him back on here. All right, we got you back. Can you hear us?
Oh, you got me back? Can you hear me?
Oh, perfect. The audio's perfect.
Yeah, you good now.
All right. So, Panda, we were just talking about something specific. Panda, could you ask your question, please?
No, I was trying to explain that.
No, I want him to explain it. So ask your question.
Oh, so my question will be, as far as pro bono goes, have you looked into firms that will do pro bono? Because
No, not that. I want him to remember we were just talking about. You said he was attacking the business, not the draft. That part of it. So explain that so he can tell us, like, what is the lawsuit? What is the lawsuit attacking?
Say again now.
So
I guess
basically,
we were just talking. Go ahead, Panda.
So basically, I was trying to explain that you aren't specifically attacking the draft. You're attacking the collusion that resulted in what happened in the draft, right? You hear me?
I'm not sure. I think there may be a delay. Eric, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. So let me just put it simply. Are you suing for the collusion, or are you suing for their business process? Does that help, Panda?
Well, I was saying is that what they did was collude, right? And that resulted in him slipping in the draft. But what you are using is the business, as a patron of the business, what they did, right? What is the specific law or federal statute? Because you mentioned it earlier. I just was trying to make sure everybody understands.
My cause of action, see, it's more than one cause of action.
Okay.
got the violation of their collusion and forcing him down in the draft is an antitrust. So
Right.
that
That's it.
violated the Sherman Antitrust Act,
Right. That's what I was trying to bring out, the Antitrust Act.
and it also violated consumer protection laws. And then I'm saying that it could have been racially motivated, given their history of racial discrimination. That's the reason it could have violated the Civil Rights Act of 1981. Now here's an interesting legal theory that I'm trying to apply to it. There's a process out here that, okay, it's going to be kind of hard to prove that the NFL racially discriminated against Shedeur Sanders when the number one quarterback taken was Cam Ward, a black man.
Correct.
But when you apply the legal principle of desperate impact, you can't look at the fact that it's just racial. Of just because you hired a black uh, a part owner, Charles Woodson, or that you just drafted Cam Ward, uh, your impact of your discrimination now becomes more easier to overcome, especially when we got the history of the report from the arbitrator that you did to the five quarterbacks. You got Colin Kaepernick. You got Jim Trotter. He sued the NFL for racial discrimination. You got Flores. He sued the NFL for racial discrimination. Flores claimed that uh, uh, he got evidence that a couple of owners made racial statements. So I'm going to subpoena him for his discovery and all his depositions to get that information as well.
So let me ask you a question now. Is the what are your chances, or what are the chances that this goes all the way or go even further? Because somebody said in the comments earlier that this is going to get thrown out.
Well,
Based on what you're laying out, it doesn't seem like this is going to get thrown out or it's
well,
frivolous. It seems
even
like
if they
they're taking you
even if
seriously.
they throw it out, guess what? If they
Appeal.
throw it out today, guess what I'm gonna do tomorrow?
Appeal.
Thank
Resort.
you. It ain't going nowhere.
And that's literally what our political system is. When something happens in a jurisdiction, they take it to another judge that's a favorable jurisdiction. So there's nothing that he's doing is weird. It's literally the law and how the law
So,
system works.
all right. So you're going to go through if they throw it out, you'll go through the appeal system. How long can this thing go? How far can this go?
Man, they can go all the way up to the Supreme Court.
So it's not a lateral thing. It's a step ladder where if the lower court throws it out, right? They don't want to touch it. Then it goes to the next level. Can you explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, that would be the appellate court, to where it takes control out of one judge's hand and put it in a panel of judges' hands. So at the appellate level, I think it's a 3 to 5 seat judge that hears these cases, and if they do dismiss it, then it'll automatically go up on direct appeal, because I already explained to you 28 USC 1915 that that frivolous determination should be made at the time that I submit my complaint and my petition to proceed in form of pauperis. The district judge at that time is supposed to make his determination as to whether or not the case has merit before he even grant me the informal pauper status. Now, he already granted me the informal pauper status, meaning that he already found or determined that my case has merit. Now, if this judge that he referred it to throws it out and said that it's frivolous, it's automatically going up on grounds of appeal because they violated that law.
So
But I would suggest
hold
something.
on. Excuse my ignorance for asking this. But if the judge that it was referred to throws it out, does the what they're granting you and everything that you've already been granted, does it carry over, like the
Yes,
fees and stuff, the filing fees
yes.
and everything?
Once that's been granted, it can't be taken away until it's challenged.
And who can challenge that? Who can challenge the fees?
When they can't challenge the fees, they have to challenge the affidavit that I submitted for the petition. And if they can find anything in that affidavit that's fraudulent or false, then they can have that status removed. But
Who is
if
they?
like the defendants, like if
Would that
the
be the
attorney for
NFL?
yeah, the attorneys for the NFL, they can go through my financials, and if they find something that's not uh, correct, then they can challenge the informal public status and have it removed or dismissed.
So if they're doing that, then that means that they really want to stick it to you. I'm just thinking, like, if they're gonna file that, right? That means that they're like, okay, you know what? We know how to get rid of this dude. We can bury him in fees, right? And he'll go away. So they can listen to this show, or somebody can listen and say, you know what? Let's bury this guy in fees. Let's challenge that. Is that something that's a possibility?
They can challenge it, but but the key thing about it is my affidavit would have to be proven false.
But that's what they're going to be going after, right? Because they
But they
got
can go
Yeah,
money.
after that.
but in able
They
to
can go after
prove
the
it
affidavit.
false,
Everything
you
in my
gotta
affidavit
think.
is factual.
If they go
So
after the affidavit, it's going to expose them even more. Because at that point, if they go comb through his stuff and his stuff is clean, they can't pull back at that point.
okay, so then that's important what Panda is saying. So now this is a question. You said that they haven't been served yet, so there is no communication back and forth with you and the NFL yet, right?
Correct.
At which point are they going to get served, or when are you planning to serve them?
Well, I mean, by me being granted the status, it's out of my hands. It's up to the court to serve them now because
Oh,
they're going to
okay.
have.
So now,
It's not up to me to serve them. Once she makes that frivolous determination, she will send out a service packet, and she will have them served by the U.S. Marshals.
have they given you any indication of when that happens?
They haven't said anything, but they're going to have to move soon because I turned in an emergency motion. She has to act on that. Look like within 72 hours, and then with this subpoena, um, see after she initiates service, they have 30 days to respond, and then after they respond, then we have to go into what's called a Rule 26 conference, meaning that's where we set up the rules of discovery and all of that. But the thing about it is, it only applies to named parties. That Rule 26 conference is only for named party. Now, the non-party members, I have access to subpoenas immediately. Uh, Federal Rule Federal Rule Civil Procedure 45. It gives me access to subpoena non-party members immediately. I don't have to wait for the Rule 26 conference. So from the time that they're being served until the time that they answer, I have free reign at getting access to a lot of the information that we're going to need to subpoena.
You mentioned earlier in this conversation that the data is important. You're looking to set up a system to control this data once this starts to come in.
Right. I don't
Do
know if
you
you ever ran a business or not, and you have an inventory. Um, I I have something that's it's like an inventory control manager, so that controls all of your inventory. I'm looking to set up a digital same type of system to where all of this data is controlled. Set up an inventory control manager to manage all this data, and I wanted to have an AI engine so that we could properly categorize it and be able to search through cross search documents for information that would be you know what I'm saying that you know what I'm saying that we would need for our case. So pretty much, I'm looking to set up a digital, um, like a digital library, um, that has AI engine that we can properly categorize all the information that we're putting into it, like a digital
Basically,
repository.
Harry, like when you have a law firm, they have a section of people who go through every single document. All
Right.
he's trying to do is digitize the document so he wouldn't be able to be easily tricked. So, for example, what tricks that law firms do is they could bury information in a wrong folder, and they
Oh
could
yeah.
say, "We gave it to you in discovery." And if he's dealing with such of a big case with that dump of information, say the judge give them a deadline of Friday, right? They could
Mm-hmm.
give it to him at 11:59, and Friday morning he got to go to the court. There's no way to go through that information. But if you're using AI or a digital system, you could highlight words and things of that nature. So what he's trying to do is actually brilliant from a standpoint. A matter of fact, you should be able to sell that to law firms if you're able to create it.
Is that something you're creating, or there's a company that you've already hired that has that system already?
Well, I signed up for well, I sent a contact to a system, a company that has a system that they're still in the beta phase. Um, but I haven't had a test run with them or spoken to one of their representatives to see if their system would be conducive to what I would need it to do. But that's what what I'm saying. That's what my plans are.
Let me ask you a question. This is kind of impromptu. Are you willing to come back on here to where you and I can have a one-on-one when it's time? Because I know you got to go to court and go file some stuff. But are you willing to come back on here and I'll email you so that we can plan this out and then we can have like a more, more
Yeah,
conversation about this? We
anytime,
can
anytime,
anytime, man. I look.
anytime.
I appreciate. I don't want to hold you too long. If you got more time, that's fine. But the fact that you came on here, and you've given us all this other information already is gold. I didn't have no time to even put you like on the thumbnail or anything like that, so nobody knows we're having this conversation. I have a different thumbnail, and people are just like, people have no idea that you're here. You feel me?
Right,
So
right.
if you're willing to come back and we can have a more cohesive conversation, I would definitely appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Like I say, just reach out. I'll try to send you my contact information to the email, so that way you have it, and that way, anytime I got something going, I'll send it to you for you to review it. And you know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there.
Yo, that's what's up, man. Hey, man, I don't want to hold you. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate this. Um, I don't know. I don't know what to ask. It's like I wasn't prepared. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to reach into my journalism bag and try to figure out my media bag and try to figure out how to make sure that this is good content for the people that are listening. So the proverbial question, what's next for you? Right now, you're on your what's next, right? You're literally sitting in the parking lot, I bet.
Hey, I'm sitting right here in front of the courthouse, man. I'm finna go in here, file this motion for the subpoena, and hopefully we can get this served to that arbitrator. You know, I'm pretty sure he didn't think I would find his residential address, but I was up all night long uh, digging into him. But I found him.
Yo,
Hey,
this is
I had to go to the Secretary of State of Connecticut to their business search to find out where he lived.
My boy not playing.
Hey, Eric, in honest, how much of this is about Shedeur and how much of this is about you?
Don't
It's a
answer. Don't answer that question for legal purposes. Don't
it's
answer that
about
question.
it's the NFL and their actions. That code word, that code word, quarterbacks like him or his kind sent me in a different area. You know, we know dog whistles when we hear it. If you live the black experience, you know a dog whistle when you hear it. And when you hear his kind, I mean, what kind are you talking about?
Mm. So you're real. I mean, like, I keep asking. This is real to you. Like you're real. I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting it out there for people that may try to categorize you or peg you as some lunatic out there. this is real to you and it's connected in a real way because you're tired of what's been going on with these big companies. Is that kind of correct? Or you can speak on that yourself?
I mean, it's the triggering. That's the triggering part. That's the triggering part. You know, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? I watch Chad Ochocinco, how they ended his career early. Randy Moss, how his career got ended early. Terrell Owens, how his career got ended early. These are greats, man. And for people with racist intent to destroy people the way they have over the 50 years that I've been alive,
You
this is
ready to
my
do something?
this is my way of letting you know those days are over with, sir. We can't do this no more.
So our member Phil So Real wants to know, what does justice look like to you, or what is justice for you?
Y'all remember when what was the name of that damn NBA owner that owned the Clippers?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the one who lost the team. I forgot his name.
That's what justice looked like to
me. But an organization like the NFL, you're not going to bring them to their knees, or you're not going to stop them from putting out football content.
I'm not worried about the NFL. If the owners of the Giants lied on Shedeur, they got to sell. If any other organizations participated in the Pittsburgh Steelers, New Orleans Saints, if they participated in the Atlanta Falcons, they need to sell.
So hold on. Wait.
Yo, this conversation is deep, bro.
You're telling me that you want to go as far as trying to get them to sell their teams?
For sale.
If they colluded and destroyed this man and robbed this man of $50 million, yes.
Wow.
You're not going to publicly destroy a young man that we look up to and expect that there's no recourse for your actions.
This is big. It's big. What are the likelihood of that? What's the likelihood of that happening with several teams? I don't see that happening. I just want to be up straight up with you.
If we get the tapes of Shedeur and all this stuff they put in the media is false and it's a lie and it's something that they created, and whoever participated in it, and you have a history. See, this is why the arbitrator's report is important, because that's going to give you the actual mechanisms on how they operate. See, if it's coming from top down, from the NFL to the teams, the arbitration report is going to stipulate that. Now, if it's just a clique of owners within the organization, the arbitration report will reveal that. And then I will know how to conduct the investigation or how to go by to get the information that we need.
What if this backfires and it works against Shedeur? What if they do release a tape? They have one of Jackson Dart, and he's quickly, acknowledging, he's quickly picking out plays. What if these teams or these meetings are actually exposed in the public, and we see that Shedeur was struggling, doesn't know what he's doing, and it proves that they were right, and you end up hurting him more in the public's eye, because now people are going to be like, see, we told you that he was dumb, or you see, he's not as smart as the other quarterback. What happens if that happens?
I got faith in God, and I know what I've been seeing. I know what I've been watching for the last 3-4 years. You gonna tell me?
Wait. Hold on. Let me push back a little bit.
Have you ever seen Shedeur not prepared?
No. Hold up. This is where we meet the rubber meets the realness, because you're suing and you're hoping that everything that we think about Shedeur is correct, but if the NFL is right, then this could get ugly. And then you just said,
let me
finish my thought. Hold on. And you're saying that you have faith in God. Like, this can get ugly, because if they're right, this can get ugly for Shedeur in the public's eye. But then, how are you saying I have faith in God? Like, how does that work?
But let me
Because
say this, Harry. Why haven't they posted any factual information to support it? So we
Because they're
could
trying to
ask, we could play
protect.
the devil advocate on that question.
No. I'm just saying they could be trying to just protect
But why have
Shedeur. They
they
could
not
be.
posted? Because they didn't care for him till he dropped to the 5th round. So if you have every justification as the Steelers, every justification as New York, we could hone in on New York. They don't hire black QBs.
Listen, I'm not trying to go down that slippery slope. I'm not trying to get
But
there.
I'm
I'm
just trying
just
to
saying
explain to
we
you
got to
now.
make sure. Listen, this is a legal process that Eric is following. The question is still live. I want Eric to answer this question because the reverse can happen as well. Have you considered that? Because you're telling me, well, I have faith in God, but do you have faith in Shedeur? Having faith in God is different than having faith that Shedeur actually went to those meetings and he was prepared. What if all of you suck all of this information from them and they're like, okay, we'll show you that he wasn't prepared, and then boom, that happens. Let's leave God out of it for a second and give me the real answer.
What is Dion's nickname for Shedeur?
Grown
How long has he had that nickname?
since he was a kid.
Okay, how long have we watched Shedeur operate? What
For a
trouble?
long time,
What trouble
since
has
Trinity.
what trouble has
Your
Shedeur?
audio's breaking up.
All right, the Bible says you shall know a tree by the fruit that it bears, right?
So I just want to make sure that we understand what we're talking, like this part of the conversation, because
I
now
understand.
we're getting it. We went from legal to now we're in the spiritual. So I just want to make sure that we understand if it comes back, there could be repercussions. There's stuff that can come out of this. I'm sorry, I don't have the right words right now, but I just want to make sure we stay on the legal aspect as opposed to start to now interject God. That's a whole nother conversation. You and I, we can go to church, but have you considered the opposite reaction of exposing Shedeur in the wrong light?
I have, and like I say, I trust my eyes and I believe what I see.
You might want to reach out to Prime first. I'm just this part right here. You might want to reach out to Prime and see what their camp is, how they're feeling, because because Shedeur knows the truth. The NFL knows the truth, and Shedeur knows the truth. Because let's say for whatever reason, you go out there and you are successful in what you're doing, and these tapes starts to roll. And it starts to come back, and we start seeing behind the scenes, and we're like, ooh, we didn't even know that defensive package.
Hey, and I'm gonna let you know right here, and that would be the approach. You know what I'm saying? But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That lets you know it's not about me.
Well, have you reached out to Prime and his people? Have you reached out to Prime and his people?
I don't have no connections to Coach Prime.
Well, you can reach out to Bucky on social.
Hey,
because you got to me. I mean, you've been on my show before, but you can reach out to Bucky and put this out there, like put feeders out there, right? Just to make sure.
Wait. Let me push back a little bit, Harry. It seems
push
like
back on what I'm saying.
It seemed like you're trying to convince Buddy away from a perspective that he's seen and noticed in a system of business. And he's attacking the systems of business. And I think when we are a collective, especially black, brown, white, whatever you are, we must be able to identify when structures or systems are acting unjustly. And when they're acting unjustly, and we seems to be the not receiving our fair end of the journey, it becomes problematic. So I don't want it to be a situation where now we are turning it into the NFL has been an upstanding participant in the structure of doing business.
Hey, Panda. So hold up. All that stuff you're just saying. Remember, now we just been talking for over an hour and a half, right? None of that stuff came out of my mouth. I asked the first question. We dug into the lawsuit idea. I'm asking now because you cannot say, hey, man, this is going on, and then not consider the flip side. But now you're trying to sell me on, we can get away with it.
That's not what I'm
focus.
saying, Harry.
That ain't my focus right now. My focus is has Eric Jackson, who's filing this lawsuit, has he considered the flip side or the truth, the truth that he is seeking? Because he told us that he's going to draw out this information. If this information draws out and the Giants do release that footage, and that footage shows Shedeur not knowing the play and then getting upset like what came out in the media, that'll prove them right. If that proves them right, then the question is legit. If that proves them right, then what happens from there?
He's already signed. He already signed his rookie deal, right? So there's no repercussions coming from that. His actions in rookie camp proven that they see him worthy of playing NFL football. Everyone
he signed to the. Hold on, let me get Eric to answer these questions because you're not the one that's filing that lawsuit. Let me get him to talk.
But you see what you're doing now?
He signed to the Cleveland Browns. He's right here. Let him talk. He signed to the Cleveland Browns, right?
Right.
But you said if the Giants come out and they release that information, if it proves something, I want to know then what?
Well, I mean, we have to handle that in the confines of the lawsuit. Like I say, I'm confident that their analysis or their interpretation of what transpired is incorrect because there's already been stories coming out that it didn't happen, and it's already been some scouts that were released from the Giants. So I'm overly confident, given my eyes and what they have witnessed for the last 3 to 4 years on the individual and the preparations that Shedeur, that they lied on Shedeur. Here's my example. You remember during the TCU game, not the TCU game, but the Texas Tech game. You don't remember when Shedeur came to the sideline, he drew up not one play, he drew up 2 plays. I think one play was to Travis Hunter, and then the other one was a goal to Will Shepherd, and they scored a touchdown. And they drew that up on the sideline. Do you recall that?
I have a lot of examples on why Shedeur. I believe that Shedeur, he's prepared and whatnot. I don't remember the specific thing that you're talking about, but I believe what you're saying.
You don't remember
now
when I think it was Will Shepherd, he was injured, and he said, "Bitch, can you go?" And he drew up a play to Travis, and they got the first down, I think, and then the very next play he threw a go route to the end zone to Will.
Okay, so you're saying that you're using that as the evidence to say that if he can do all of that, then what the Giants said is incorrect. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much. Yeah.
No, I mean, well, you are not. Look, you're in Shedeur land, right? Like this is TLP Sports Club. I've been covering Shedeur and the Buffs for a while, so the pushback is for the media. The pushback or the stuff that I'm asking is for journalism purposes, right? It's for media purposes because
I'm not offended by it. I mean, I understand it, and I'm able to.
No, there are people in the chat thinking that I don't believe in Shedeur and all of that. No, so the questions are not because I don't believe in Shedeur. The question is once you go to the legal thing has nothing to do with whether you like Shedeur or you hate Shedeur. The truth is just going to be presented. So if something comes out, say that again.
The truth is the truth. The truth is
exactly. That's what I'm saying, Eric. So that's what I'm saying. So the truth is the truth. But if we fail to ask the question, because we like Shedeur so much, and you're saying, oh, Harry don't like Shedeur, or he thinks that Shedeur doesn't know how to draw a place for asking the question. Do you think that that's how the lawyers are going to act? The lawyers don't care either way, right?
No, they don't.
Exactly.
No, they don't.
They wouldn't. I'm just pointing that out because there are people.
They would not be doing their job if they didn't.
Exactly. So there are people out here that think like if you ask a question, whether it's a viable question or not, they think that you hate Shedeur. Like
it's not.
This has nothing to do with hating Shedeur.
It has nothing to do with hating Shedeur. It's just that you're a journalist, so you're gonna ask the opposite end of the spectrum. It's not personal. It's just that you want both ends of it.
Exactly. You want both ends.
And I think it's a fair question. I think I gave you an honest answer.
You did. So, right. So you're saying, look, man, this is what I'm feeling in my spirit, and I must let you know. This is how I feel. I feel like because this is such a big thing, you got to reach out somehow to Bucky or somebody that's close to Prime and y'all have a conversation.
For what? For what?
The reason why you want to have a
yeah, you would want to know if they want you to stand down or not.
You think that their team wouldn't reach out to him already?
Hold on, Panda. Is that legit for them to know whether you should stand? Would you stand down if they say stand down?
Of course.
Okay, so then the question is fair, right? Like you want to reach out because you want to know whether this is something that you want them to pursue or they want you to pursue, right?
Well, I mean, they're not pursuing it. I'm pursuing it, but
no, that's what I'm saying.
If it's going to cause them harm, yeah, reach out, cease and desist. That's all.
Okay, so you're saying, hey, I'm putting it out here. If you guys think there's something here, and I just need to stand down, just holler at a brother. Is that what it is? That's just how it's as simple as that, right?
Just that simple. That's what I say. It's not about me, man.
That's what's up.
Harry, this is what I'm thinking you are not seeing. The reason
don't tell me what I'm not seeing. Trust me,
Harry. Every time I'm trying to articulate a point, at least respect me enough to let me articulate the point, bro.
Go ahead.
What makes this lawsuit very important? It highlights the inconsistency of the NFL in the structure, in how they treat players of a certain hue. It has a longer lasting implication. That is why I'm supporting it. And reason why I'm more encouraged, it's not centered around Shedeur. It's centered around the collusion. It's centered around the bad business practice. It's centered around every time a black quarterback
is. Know that?
Yeah, but Harry, allow me to finish the point. What I'm
but you're just repeating where we've been. Okay, like I know what the lawsuit is for. I'm not. I just want to be known. You're trying to convince me of what this is and why it's important. At no point in this conversation did I say it's not important. Don't pursue it. I'm doing journalism. I'm doing media work. I'm doing what you're supposed to do if you are a media person asking these questions. Don't take it personal, Buff fans. It's not personal. We take everything personal. The second you ask legit questions, Buff fans, their pom-poms or their ears just start pricking up like, oh no, you must be against Shedeur if you don't want it to continue. I'm not saying that, Eric. I just want you to please understand that. I know what you're doing. I totally understand it and I respect it. That's why I asked the questions the way I asked it. You are fully aware of what you're doing and you're standing on business and nothing's going to shake you unless Coach Prime and his team says, you know what, stand down, we're good. Is that right? I guess in a question form.
At that point, I guess I had to just fall back.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're standing on business. Hopefully, the people that think that Eric is just out here just trying to do himself. Eric is serious. He's already told you that he's serious about this lawsuit. This is not a joke. I don't know what how people are going to start thinking about while you're filing a lawsuit, but you've already expressed that. And I do want to have you come back so that we can, talk a little bit more, in details, and then whatever else you can share that's outside of, not getting you in trouble or whatever for the lawsuit, we can do that. But I do want to let you go so that you can go ahead and serve your other piece of your other paper, and I'll get that information from you.
Yeah. The email address. Can you send me your email address? Because when I
So
want to put you on a
when I
list to
send
where.
you that's the email, the one that I send you for, that's the email. That's
So
mine.
to join live, I can send you documents and stuff
Yep.
through that.
Yep, that's my email. Like, it comes right here.
Got you. All right.
Anything.
I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you updated what's going on step by step. So give you heads up so you know.
My man Eric, I don't know. Listen, man, I really appreciate. I don't know why you doing this for me, my little channel. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man.
It creates great content.
No, it does. That's why I'm like flabbergasted, because I'm figuring, like, why is he doing this for me? Like, thank you. I say thank you. I appreciate it. You're sharing information that a lot of people, I don't know. Have you had any in-depth conversations with anybody other than somebody just thinking like this is a frivolous lawsuit? Is this the first in-depth conversation you've had?
Yes, as far as like any first like YouTube or any podcast, I've done some on camera for major news networks, but this is like the first time I've said on a podcast or YouTube and actually expound on the actual transgressions of what we're doing.
Okay, so man, I appreciate the content. I appreciate the fact that you came on here and you blessed my show, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little dusty channel in the corners of YouTube trying to figure out my way out.
I've never seen you live this time in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I usually don't go live at this time, but I just decided, look, man. Say that again.
Thank God that you did.
God works in mysterious ways.
And Shedeur would say perfect timing.
Yo, Eric, man, I thank you for your time. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, man.
All right, boss.
All right, so reach out. You know how to get in contact with me.
I got you now. I definitely send you, as soon as I get back in and get everything filed, I'll send you over some information and let you know where we at.
And I'll send you my digits through the email.
That'll work.
All right, man. Take care.
Right, boss. Have a great day.
You too. Peace. Okay. Thoughts? What? So, Panda, listen, man. I didn't want to make it seem like you and I was at odds. I just wanted to let you know I understood what was going on. But there are times where the buffs in you, the buff in you kind of takes over, and you're not understanding what I'm trying to do. I had a job to do. So I just want you to understand.
Trying to say you was being irresponsible in some regards because
I was not being irresponsible. It's the media's job.
Then you could rebuttal.
All right, go ahead.
He's going through a legal matter, and you are speaking on the legal matter in detail. I was strategically doing what I was doing. So if you are trying to use journalistic integrity as what you were trying to do, you must also be aware that anything said or done will be able to be used in the court of law. This isn't a cheering on of what he's doing or not. The only thing I was simply saying, what he was attempting to do against the legal structure of the institution, I found noble. I'm not pushing back against anything else, but I was simply saying that you were asking questions that would have placed him at a disadvantage going forward.
How?
So I was interjecting.
What do you mean? How did I do that?
Harry, what I'm trying to say to you, bro, A lot
I'm
of
asking you
times you
how.
say that
How
you
did
are
I do?
in
How did
your
I do that?
journalistic bag, but
Answer the
in
question, Panda.
journalistic
How
bag,
did I do that?
I'm trying to explain to you and you keep interjecting, bro.
No, but you're saying I was in my
Which
journalist.
means
I
that
said,
you're
tell
not
me how.
listening.
What question did I ask that you felt was not correct? Tell me, Panda. What question did I ask that you felt was not correct?
I think when we start going into the details and what left and what next move to make, and he was diverging those information, that wasn't a right direction to go down. So when we talk about journalism, clearly he's not a lawyer. Clearly he has some knowledge of how to file paperwork, but if he's going to a legal matter, I think some of the things that was said or some of the things that was drawn out wasn't responsible.
I don't
That's
agree.
all I'm saying.
I mean, I just respectfully don't agree with you, but that's it.
And that is fine, bro. That is fine.
I don't agree with you. I felt because I made it clear, you know, he's not somebody that's illiterate or somebody that doesn't understand what he was doing. I made it clear and I said, look, don't express anything that's going to hurt your case. And I was asking questions on the surface. When you're asking surface questions like what's next and you know what happens if this happens, that's not something that's not journalistic or that's going to hurt his case. He had the opportunity not to answer or to answer. And if he's answering, knowing that he knows what he knows, I have total faith that he understands what we were doing. And I did express that and he understood it. So I'm not going to say, well, he's not a lawyer and he doesn't understand. And I was trying to manipulate the situation with journalistic prowess. That's not what was going on. So I respectfully say I disagree with your assessment. That's just it. We can just move on from that because there's nothing. I didn't do anything that I think would hurt his case. And if I did, then he'll let me know. But let me bring on DC. DC, welcome to the show, man. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fine. My primary purpose of jumping on right now is that the opinions and the views expressed on TOP are not directly associated with Harry B or any other subsidiary. He's strictly interviewing, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Is that true?
That is true, and I will repeat
Okay.
that the
Yeah.
the views
Well, make sure-
and thoughts and everything that was expressed on this show. It was a live show, and Eric just saw me on, and he's been on the show before, and he came on and he was expressing his views based on the lawsuit that he's filing with the NFL. These are not my views; those are his views, and it does not, represent TLP or any other subsidiaries of TLP Sports Club. So. Just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. This was specifically
You want to put it out now?
Hey, I'm big on that. I got to protect my brother, man. Because of the. Go ahead.
DC, what do you think, though?
Did you hear me say that before he started? Did you hear me say, you sure you want to add yourself to this? But you see, Harry wasn't listening, and I've been dropping.
Listen, this is media because
listened.
other media. I'm not the first one to interview him. He said that.
Yes.
I asked him the question. Did you not hear me ask him the question? And was this the first time you've been out here? I knew exactly what was going on, Panda. I asked him the question. I said, is this the first time? He said he's already been out there. I'm not the first. So think about that. DC, you're reflecting, DC. You gotta click off and come back. You hear me, DC?
No, DC.
Panda, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, that was DC. So that's wild. That was unplanned. Yo, that's wild.
I mean, it's definitely good content.
That's wild. It's wild. I don't know what to go from here. Like, there's nothing else. Finish the live, cut it up, and put it out on the internet. That's pretty much it. That is wild.
I want to chop it up and give it a whole new name.
Oh yeah, definitely happening. definitely happening. Let me bring DC back on. DC, what are your thoughts, brother?
Interesting. I'm not gonna get into feelings at this point. As far as depth of it, I would just sit back and say it's an interesting lawsuit, and I look forward to seeing how it goes.
That's a very, very good
Eric is
conclusion.
serious. Eric, when you hear it, when you heard it out there, nobody knew who it was. We didn't know who it was at first. So I didn't know that Eric had been on the show before when I was in Dallas.
I'm gonna keep it a stack.
When you first
sent me the, I'm gonna say this: when you sent me the link, I was gonna jump on, and just something in my spirit was like, "Nope, don't jump on." And then when I saw Eric, I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh, Harry, for you to be on at this time, this is God. Get out the way." And that's exactly what wound up happening. So, good job being sensitive to the spirit, as well as you did a pretty solid interview, bro.
Yeah, and when he was like, "I'm the one that filed the lawsuit," I was like, "What is this?" When he put that in the chat, I was like, "What?" Evelyn Underwood. He did say that I'm the first podcast YouTube channel that he's come on since he did the national media. Because but the thing, to be fair, the national media, when they hear about the lawsuit and everything, I feel like what they're not being honest, and they're not being sincere about their approach. I feel like they'll go out there and be like, "Who's this crazy guy? Who's this crazy person that's filing a lawsuit? Ha 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 ha!" Right? So it's like, for him to sit down with us or come on the show and talk with us, to know that, okay, this is somebody I actually dealt with before we actually communicated. I like to just make people, it has to be real. This is a real person that did this, and he has feelings, and this is something that's dear to him. I didn't know that that was somebody I had already had interaction with. So yeah, it's I don't even know what to say at this point. Well, it is 11 o'clock, and I can get off here. That's that. Where do you go from here?
You don't. You get off the phone and send him some stuff and start going through what he's got, and you get ready to set up a TLP exclusive. That's what goes down.
Okay, then I'll do that, and I'll see y'all later. I'm out of here. Hey, Panda, thank you for joining the show. DC, thank you for calling in, man. I'll see y'all later. All right, Evelyn. All right, Jay, and everybody that came on here. Y'all take care, man.